Good morning and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. I'm John Karabatsis and I'll be your host for this edition of the Bowling University Tuesday Morning Profit Break. Thank you for joining us. The Tuesday Morning Profit Break is an opportunity for sharing insights on how to grow revenue, reduce costs, and enrich yourself, your team, and your business. Welcome to our new viewers and welcome back to those of you joining us again. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. We have another great show ready to share with you today. So grab your coffee or your favorite morning beverage and let's get started improving your profitability. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting Jason Mitchell. Jason has 3+ decades of experience in our industry, from hourly team member all the way up to corporate games executive with some well-known FEC brands. Currently, Jason covers the southern portion of the United States for our BPAA Smart Buy partner, Intercard. Jason's extensive operational background combined with his working knowledge of card systems make him incredibly qualified on our topic today. This morning, Jason's going to provide his tips on how you can improve profits in the game room by getting the most out of your game card system. Jason, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invitation. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Thanks again. So our time is short, so we're going to jump right into it. Most of us agree that card systems are really a perfect solution for our industry. Okay. But can you share, given your perspective, being an operator and being on the card system side, why do you think that is?
Well, yeah, absolutely, certainly. The guests love the card systems because they provide the freedom to spend and earn. Okay, I think the kids love the fact that it's almost like their own little credit card. Mm-hmm. The operators, they actually prefer the card systems because they can utilize it as an important tool to connect with their guests, efficiently manage the game room, and of course maximize their revenues and profitability.
Okay. Those are excellent points, sir. Thank you for bringing it up. Now, I would say this, when I was an operator, okay, and you were to ask me if I was using my system to the fullest, I would probably say to you, I would think about it and probably say probably not, okay,
right.
Because there are so many features that are in the system that most of us aren't aware of. Okay, so how can members make sure that they're maximizing the potential of their system?
Well, it all starts with the initial system setup. Many times the initial setup gets changed by people that may have access throughout the time. You know, maybe they don't know exactly what they're doing, and that's a problem. But if key metrics are entered incorrectly, all the information you're reviewing will be inaccurate, and that's going to be problematic down the road. One of those items, obviously, is the redemption monetary value. The redemption monetary value is that value. What value are you associating with that point that you're giving away at the redemption counter? Is it a penny? Is it half a cent? Is it a third a penny? There's 1,000 ways to skin that cat, but I would say most of our customers use a penny a point just simply for the reason that it's simple math. It's easy. You want to keep it simple, stupid.
Math is hard. Yeah.
Right, exactly. If that gets changed, then the data that you're reviewing on your reports is going to be junk. Junk in, junk out. You don't want that to happen. Another thing, a lot of the proprietors and operators out there, they use a cash-based system on their readers. You know, a game costs 50 cents or $1. If you choose to go with a credit-based system, it might be 4, 5, 6 credits to play that particular, that same dollar game. Mm-hmm. That's fine. You just want to make sure that you have your cash-to-credit ratio put into your system as well. Otherwise, it's going to kind of be nonsensical. So that's another point that I would.
And that's a back-of-the-house setting that you have to actually set.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's one of the things I would focus on whenever you're initially setting up your system.
Okay. So starting off on the right foot is critical. Mm-hmm. You know, as time goes on and life gets in the way, you know, some of that knowledge, that initial system setup just gets lost in the whole thing. So in your experience, though, do you see many operators that are unknowingly, you know, perhaps they haven't updated their system, whatever, but unknowingly utilizing bad data? And why does that happen?
Yeah, unfortunately, it does happen. You know, arcade and amusements industry, it's complicated. It's not simple. It's not easy. Only within the last 10 to 15 years have traditional bowling centers really started, you know, adding arcades and laser tag and different attractions, becoming those bowling entertainment centers. You know, before that happened, you know, their tribal knowledge about bowling is unmatched. It's incredibly amount of knowledge about bowling that's in the bowling industry. You can't get anything by them. But when you introduce something new, it's a little bit harder to grasp. So what I've always found to be helpful is to have someone on your team that could be considered your card system champion, someone that could really dive into everything and run the card system for you. It will pay off in the end because you want someone that has a little bit of attention to detail, someone that's focused, maybe someone with a little bit of hunger. I found it to be really good to be like pre-management candidates. Maybe they're not ready to be a manager in the facility. Maybe they're wanting to step up from a supervisor role or something like that. When you can have that person learn the card system as a base, they'll be much more prepared to step up into learning the food and beverage and bowling side of your business as well. So I would suggest having that person, and their role is really to look at the entire system forwards and backwards. Do all the data mining, making sure they're doing the inventory, pay attention to the redemption payout targets that you set forth for them. That's key. If you don't set forth a target for them to achieve, it's very difficult for them to do their part. Security settings are some of the things that get forgotten as well when you are dealing with card systems. So make sure that the security settings are set up properly at the very beginning as well. But back to that champion, you really want that person focusing on your entire amusement side of your business. Sometimes it's even worth it to incentivize them a little bit. If you give them a 20% cost of goods target on your redemption cost of goods each month, and they're plus or minus 1% on either side of that, I would make sure that you find some way to put some type of bonus on their check at the end of that month too. But a lot of people these days, they're looking more for recognition than they are for monetary reward. So show them that you appreciate what they're doing as well.
You know, I love that idea of a game card champion, and for a whole bunch of reasons. One, that person can focus on, I know in my experience, the security settings that you mentioned,
Right.
If you're not dialed into that, you could lose a lot of money. An awful lot of money.
Absolutely, but you don't want to be too tight. One thing that you definitely want to do is empower your employees to be able to service those customers. But you definitely want to make sure that you restrict it enough to where you're not having, some silent partners working with you.
Well, and you know what, too, the other end of it is a lot of our proprietors or managers, they're not into this business because of the games. Okay, so sometimes if you don't know it, then you tend not to spend as much time with it. So this person can focus on it and then report. And you're growing a person too. You're growing another potential manager in your system. So I love that. I love that idea. So, there's so again, getting back to the earlier point, there's so many features in a game card system. Is there anything in particular, any features that you see that are the most underutilized, that really shouldn't be, but underutilized features in the system that proprietors should learn more about?
Well, there's so many people out there that don't even know that the card, if you pair it with a point of sale system, can be used throughout your entire facility. You can use that game card as a way to pay for your bowling, to pay for that beer at the bar, to go ahead and buy that hamburger. It takes away a barrier for your guests to spend the money. So it frees them up to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable and utilize throughout the building. It creates a cashless environment. There are many facilities out there that are 100% cashless, meaning that no money ever changes hands between the guest and the staff member. Now, not every business will want to or can go in that direction, but anytime you can create even a minimal amount of cashless use within your facility, that's going to improve things. It lowers the percentage of theft. It just, like I said, it frees up the guest to be able to spend a little bit more freely. The game card can now be your internal gift card if you utilize it all throughout your facility. If you're paying MasterCard or Visa for gift cards, and every transaction you're paying a transaction fee, card systems don't charge a transaction fee. If you can utilize that card throughout your building, there's no reason why it can't be your gift card. And you can sell it online, you can sell it on property. It really becomes a huge benefit. It increases your guest spend. It provides an additional avenue for payment. And it also increases the guest's perceived value if you tie it to a membership or a loyalty program. So that's one of the things that usually doesn't get applied as much as it should.
So if you have that ability, and I guess it's becoming more and more available now, where you can use that card throughout the facility. I mean, I would think that's really not just a win for obviously the proprietor, but that guest, because now it's pretty seamless. They can go from their game room to bowling, and then, I mean, can they use it to eat and so on?
Absolutely. I consider it no barriers.
Okay.
You know, it gives you as the operator the ability to get every last dime of your money out of their pocket. And we all know that a certain portion of that money that's in their wallet belongs to the electric company, and a certain portion belongs to Chili's, and there's a certain portion that belongs to you. Make sure that you maximize that opportunity by using a card system.
So you can use that, I mean, that card now, as you said, becomes more valuable.
Absolutely.
Because it's for anything in the center, which is great for loyalty programs and promoting the business and using social media to do just that. So, I mean, it really becomes a valuable card. So, now, is that pretty common? I mean, they have to work with their POS provider to make sure that the systems integrate, right?
Yes, but most card systems have integrations and APIs that they can provide any third-party point-of-sale system to interface to some degree. Some interfaces are more robust than others. You know, the basics you're definitely going to want to make sure you have is the ability to load cash on a card, the ability to remove cash from a card so that it can be used as a legal tender or a payment on that POS system, and you want some type of balance lookup ability as well. Those are the three focus.
Wow, that's really great. That would be a neat feature to be able to do that. Have a forward-looking proprietor having that one card throughout the place.
Yeah, it's been proven very successful in many facilities.
Okay, so it's out there, so they can always contact them. Okay,
this is nothing new.
I'm behind the times. All right, you know what, Jason? Again, there's so much in a card system. There's so many features. There's so many benefits, and I know again, we just in the short time we had did a great job on touching on a lot of the areas that proprietors should look into to grow their business using the card system. Where can they go if they want to learn more about it, start to delve into some of these topics? How do they find out more?
Well, first, guys, I'd start with your card system vendors. They have all sorts of training programs that are available, marketing programs that are available. They're all willing to assist. All you have to do is pick up the phone and give them a call. I think that in many cases, the networking that you are allowed to do at different trade shows like Bowl Expo, or attend the educational seminars like BPAA boot camps, they're amazing. You get great networking opportunities. You get to speak with other proprietors. You get to speak with your peers. And it's important that you tie that together. Remember, one thing I like about the amusement industry is that we're all willing to share. We all know that if you share that information and we all do well, the industry as a whole will do well. You should also take the time to talk to your game distributors as well. They have a lot of wealth of information and knowledge about the industry, especially if you want to improve the arcade specifically. They definitely know what they're doing. Give them a call. They'll be more than happy to help. If you succeed, they succeed. And if all else fails, hey, guys, if you can't get what you need elsewhere, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help in any way I can.
Great. You know what? I've known Jason long enough that he means it. So if that's what if he's putting that out there, if you have to take him up on it, do so. You'll see his contact information here shortly.
Please.
Jason, thank you for that. It's a lot of great information in a short amount of time, but you've directed people on where they can go to get some more information. So thank you for that, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us today.
No problem, John. My pleasure.
So thanks again to everybody for joining us. This information is something that all of our members can benefit from. I'd like to remind all of you that if you'd like more information or have team members that would benefit from understanding this topic more, you can contact Jason directly or reach out to one of us on the education team. So as we wrap up another edition of the Tuesday Morning Profit Break, remember that when your focus is on growing people, people will grow your business. We look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday at 10:15 Eastern, for another great episode of the Tuesday Morning Profit Break. If you have any questions about today's show or would like additional information, you can reach us anytime at education@bpaa.com. Also, you and your team can watch any of our previous episodes 24/7 by visiting bowlinguniversity.net. Until then, I'm John Karabatsis, and do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. We'll see you next week.